All right, guys and gals, welcome to the first game of round 3 of the Tiny Wars Open Tournament. I am Advanced Warrior.
And I'm CJ.
And we have two very powerful players playing against two pretty good COs. We have Plague playing as Caulder on the top. Boarding cost of 50, zone radius of 2. Does not expand his zone. All units in the zone gain plus 25% offense, plus 25% defense, and only 2 HP, plus 2 HP heal every turn inside the zone, which costs funds. Caulder in the original game, I believe, was a 5 CO zone, 60-60, and healed for 5 HP. And as you can see, no powers or superpowers. So Caulder is going to have to solely rely on their CO zone and their units surviving with the repairs.
Yep. And on the other side, we have Sonja the Superior playing as Will. Will is the classic CO you know and love. Boarding cost of 50%, zone of 2, zone expands at normal times. And all units get 10-10 buff, and then ground direct units get an extra 20% defense for a total of 30-10 for the ground direct units. And then the Super CO power gives those ground direct units plus 2 movement, and the day-to-day buff is global, so it's given to all of his units.
All right, so fairly interesting matchup, protagonist versus antagonist. Let us go. So, I like the COs that each of these players have gone for. Not too big, not too small. Will can use the CO zone to make pushes and go on the offensive, perhaps, while Caulder, Plague on the top, is gonna probably play for the sustain with the immediate repairs that Plague has access to.
I'm kind of surprised by this opening, because they both went double infantry the first turn when they could have gone bike infantry. But seeing how they're playing this out actually makes a lot of sense. I, for some reason, would have just never thought about that.
An infantry can go for the base in 2 turns.
Yeah, I mean, that one makes sense, and that's what I always do. But I never realized that, the first city that you want to capture, you might as well just use an infantry. And it allows you to, I guess, get to the next city in 2 turns. Meanwhile, you can send a bike off after and have it capture far.
Ooh, looks like we have an aggressive recon coming from Plague, sending it down towards the 1 base side of Sonja Superior, forces them to build a tank there. Not the best spot unless Sonja wants to make that side their strong side. Seeing bikes just fanning out to the sides, and interestingly enough, infantry going through the pocket on the bottom left, and they could just go through all that terrain, start capturing that city within 2 turns.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we get to see kind of that recon, at least, zoning, or getting that control of the right side. As we kind of talked about in the map review, that recon just gets to the front lines really fast, and so you can prevent player 2's capture of those cities. But Sonja the Superior does opt to go for the middle, but the recon goes along with it, so...
Yeah.
I guess the tank is around, so he won't have any problems, but he definitely won't be able to push further, which is fine, because that's kind of what you would expect on this map.
So, with those 4 cities, the 2 on the side that are adjacent to each other, Plague has already captured 2 of them, and already has 1 of them behind the other capturing unit on the left side there. And, is that, this is... Look at this. The middle here, you see Plague going for the recon attack on the city right there, and there's a tank that looks like it's backing it up. If Sonja wants to attack that recon from the city, They probably won't have a tank in range. Hold on, wait. So, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't think it's in range.
It's not in range to overlap the next turn. So, I would say great awareness, but oh, there's the copter.
Oh, there's the copter.
That 1, 2.
They put the tanks on the on the HQ to get
Oh,
the CO zone. That's pretty
cheeky,
good, too.
cheeky. You put a tank on the HQ. You figure out where you want to send it. Honestly, I thought SonjaTheSuperior was in a little bit of trouble in the center there, but nope, the copter, very aggressive copter. We mentioned in the map breakdown, copters are really good. We're already seeing the anti-air, and hold on, we missed this a few turns ago. Mechs. I do not know how I feel about those mechs, CJ. The map is fairly big.
I actually like these mechs because there's the mountains in the way. They're quite effective. They're slow. It's gonna take a while, but they're not as like bad as kind of you would expect. At least when I've played on this map, I've used mechs on that base before, and seeing that like he has a pretty good grasp of this right side, like yeah, the kind of delay in those mechs is fine. He's, I guess, not going to be able to capture this other city yet, but he's definitely not going to allow Master of Maths SonjaTheSuperior to get that either. But Plague's aggression on the left side is being rewarded. Or, well, he's having a little bit more free time, I guess, than SonjaTheSuperior has on the other side. So
I never really thought of it like that. The HQ in the center, you load your CO and then you make your opponent like guess or force them to change into where the fighting will be, and Plague has decided to take the CO zone towards the one base side of their side. Alright, so let's see here. Copter coming in. Those, we're probably gonna have a tank maybe cover those units. The copter covers some. A copter from Plague. Yeah, let's just see where these copters are going. SonjaTheSuperior does have more bases on the left side, so this might not be a place where Plague would want to stay for forever, but we'll just see.
yeah, if he can, the longer he can hold that one city on the left, the better he is, because right now, SonjaTheSuperior Blue doesn't really have as much of a threat, or rather, has already, like, I guess, ceded ground, to Plague on the right side, whereas Plague is putting up more of a fight on the left side. So right now, Plague has like that income advantage. He's doing pretty well so far. SonjaTheSuperior does have the CO charge though. Is going to get Zone 3 pretty soon. So that is the main threat. That's gonna be the main compensation that he has. So it'll really come down to, you know, which is worth more, the potential for CO power or the money.
And oh wow, again, oh no first strikes on the tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, the second copter wouldn't have covered that first copter if it could have attacked that CO unit, and I was afraid of this Plague having a bike just sneaking around, possibly going for those captures. SonjaTheSuperior is playing very, very defensively, and wait, that is a Plague tank in front of SonjaTheSuperior's HQ. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no capture units, so there's not too big of a threat. Wait, hold up. I was missing things. How did he get so much charge? Like,
They were
So
at
fast.
they were at 27 at the start.
Oh,
of
29.
Now they're at 29.
And-
Yeah, they got charged. A lot of attacks happening.
Oh.
It is their two base.
Oh, I see.
It is their two base side. They are getting a lot of hits in. Already at 60. Is Sonja going to be able to keep this?
Oh yeah, that tank is on.
Okay,
what's it called? Roads,
damage the copter, so that copter can't go for a another hit. But that copter is going to repair.
Can he go for? No, he can't go for a suicide play, but he can do a lot of damage.
Oh, ouch. Oh no,
Yeah.
no way to kill that tank. Now keep
So
in mind. Go ahead.
Even though Blue has his CO power, he's lost a lot of his strong units on the left side.
Yeah, let's keep in mind that Will also only increases the movement of units on the ground direct units. So the battlecopters will not be getting a boost. And yes, I called it Duster on this map. Let's go.
Yeah. So no CO power immediate. Oh, there it is. Okay.
All right, let's see.
I wonder why I didn't use it like right at the beginning because he had the ability.
I think they had to clear the unit to. I probably wanted to keep it on a city. Clear the unit to attack with the anti-air.
Okay. Yeah.
I am liking this power. I really am liking this power. This was SonjaTheSuperior looks like they have a lot of control on the bottom side, or at least that's what I feel like. And we got
I feel like
mixed.
they're able to consolidate, but I don't think that's enough to keep them ahead, because Plague has such a distinct income advantage that it's really hard to come back from this. Like, that power didn't get massive kills; it was just mainly repositioning it.
Yep. Oh, just one building ahead only. Huh.
Oh no, that's because he has temp airport, but.
Oh yeah, 23 to 20. Yeah.
A lot of,
I see. 3,000. My mistake. I don't know why I keep doing that. Another tank just staring at Sonja's HQ. And sadly, that artillery got hit. Oh man,
Yeah.
is Plague able to resign? Wow.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I mean, like, Blue had already used his CO power. He wasn't able to get a ton of value from that. I think he kind of used it just because there wasn't really a good way to keep his CO alive otherwise. Or there weren't very many guarantees that they would be able to keep their CO alive. So they just kind of popped it then. But they weren't able to get a lot of value because, as I kind of mentioned earlier, a lot of their strong frontline units had already died.
Yep.
Had already been destroyed by Plague's like couple tanks and B-copters in the area.
Looking at the
And
army
that's
value.
Plague's weak side too.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. Looking at the army value, it makes a lot of sense. Unless maybe Sonja could have like killed a couple units and then built some of their own. This artillery is covering that tank. I'm still not sure about how I feel about the mechs.
I think the mechs. Well, they didn't actually get into the game, but I mean, Plague didn't need them immediately, and he was doing fine without the mechs really having an influence, which is quite interesting actually. But that just means that like he was ahead by so much already that even when the mechs weren't in, he was still like had an advantage, had quite a distinct advantage even.
So let's see.
I
here.
honestly think that one of the best parts was probably the recon. I think that Plague early on had just a lot more control over the right side than SonjaTheSuperior had on the left side.
Yeah, let's see what Sonja's funds are. 10,500. All right, so yeah, can't go tank and recon. I'm pretty sure Sonja probably would have wanted to do the same thing with a aggressive recon, but is forced to respond with a tank. Plague was just able to take advantage of the fact that the fronts are very, very far apart. So if you're going to commit to one side, you're going to have to commit. Sonja would love to have their first vehicle on their 2-base side and start being more aggressive there, but instead built a tank on their 1-base side just to try to, keep a recon at bay. Although it does kind of make me wonder, could Sonja the Superior maybe let this recon move for a turn and just remain defensive on the 1-base side and just have the first vehicle on the 2-base side and then start forcing Plague to have vehicles on their 1-base side?
Wait, say it again? So leave this recon and just build the tank on this base instead?
Yes. Let it and just remain defensive on the 1-base side and start being the aggressor on the 2-base side for Sonja.
So what do you build to answer this recon? Because
eventually a tank.
This is Plague's turn. Yeah, this is Plague's turn. So he's out here, right?
You don't go for those 2 cities.
So what? You go into the center?
Perhaps. I said,
that's what he did though. He went to the center, and then this would have kind of blocked the cap there too.
That would have, yes. The only thing I could think of is just probably be very passive on the 1-base side, just hold that radar, and on the other side you start going for all those properties. It's just an idea. I'm not the best standard player, but it's just it's not very unfortunate to have a tank on the 1-base side, and right now no vehicles on the other side. Hold on, I want to see some. If we go back here, and if Sonja builds a recon, and that recon, I don't think the recon would have been able to interrupt this property. Unless Sonja had...
No, I don't think so.
Unless Sonja probably could have had funds for their own recon, maybe?
Yeah, I mean,
Hold on,
so when...
Hold on. Give me a second. 8,000. They could have built a recon this turn. They could have.
So what, recon...
On the 2-base side.
Recon, I guess recon bike infantry?
Yeah, recon bike infantry. Sonja could have definitely done what Plague did, build a recon, and then extend it down here and keep Plague from going for these captures. So I can definitely see an opportunity, but I believe Sonja's a much better player than I am. They probably had a much different game plan than I had, maybe one that was probably better. But in Sonja's situation, I can completely understand this recon here. I would be annoyed by this recon in Sonja's position. But last turn, if Sonja built a recon, they could have done the same thing, and Plague would be in the situation that Sonja the Superior is in. But sorry to sound like a broken record, they probably had a different game plan than me. But to avoid this situation, I could see Sonja building a recon before Plague and start in 2 turns threaten these properties.
Yeah. So actually, what I would consider here is if I see this recon, it's what? It's my player 2's turn, Blue's turn. I see this recon. Another thing I can consider is actually just going for the aggressive
city
cap.
skipping.
Yeah, just go for it. And then this bike or something else can come for this radar later. That is quite aggressive. I'm not sure if that actually works out. But you do get the city, at least before the recon gets there, I think. You do get the city before the recon gets there, and then the radar is easier for you to secure, or should be easier for you to secure since it's closer.
If I went for a city skip, I definitely would start calculating my income, seeing that if it will or if it won't hurt my income.
And then also, when yeah, but I think overall, like, the recon is like just a really strong choice, because by going for tank, he had to go infantries instead, and so he didn't have a lot of bikes that really threatened this left side. On the other hand, Plague does have quite a lot of bikes within the next few turns on the right side, or maybe just one extra bike actually, but it kind of makes a difference in helping him be aggressive. Why does it feel like... Okay. Yeah, helping him get these further out caps compared to Blue. His infantry don't really reach a lot of these cities. They can't threaten to attack these units either. And then by this time, like, there's this tank in the area, and it's really hard to get a lot of value.
So I would say that the takeaway for this map is definitely openings. See what kind of response is your opponent going to do with said opening. Now, I'm not saying that the one base tank is a hilt to die on as to why the game turned out the way for it to be, but it's just it's one of those like micro or macro things that just come to my mind. You know, it's like putting yourself in your opponent's situation. What can you do to make your opponent deviate from what they would have normally done? And as you...
How do you throw a wrench in their plans?
Yes. Yeah, I feel like this recon... The recon up here made Plague... not Plague. Made Sonja, like, build reactively rather than what they normally wanted to do. And also the city skipping idea, definitely something Sonja could have maybe considered, unless there's, like, you know, a great potential that Plague was able to, like, just take that city back. Maybe Plague was able to get the city because Sonja didn't go for the city skip. Maybe a city skip could have made Plague think of something else. But yeah, I would say that this is definitely an interesting game and an interesting map with openings and, you know, like you said, a wrench in your opponent's plan, make them react and not do what they want to do. Just like putting them in uncomfortable situations before you even move that recon, etc.
Yeah. I really liked this play in the middle, though. I had not thought about, like, parking the tank on the HQ to board the CO later.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a really strong, or that tends to be quite a strong play that not a lot of players, especially not a lot of new players, think of. And the applicability of that strategy really depends on the map, but this is a pretty good map for it. So I liked that idea. I like that both of them did that, actually. But with Sonja the Superior getting the initiative in the center, then Plague is like, okay, I don't need to deal with that. So, yeah. But then Plague also just had the luxury in general of doing that because he had already had the initiative in terms of captures. So how that would fare if, like, Plague wasn't already, like, aggressively capping the sides, I'm not entirely sure. I think Master of Math would have had a better time if he wasn't already on the back foot from kind of the get-go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Definitely would like to hear the thoughts of the players themselves and other spectators about how this game could have gone and the types of openings that each of them done. But honestly, a very surprising resign coming from Sonja the Superior. But I can understand looking at the unit count and the army value and the income deficit as well.
Yeah, but very good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes.
They do quite a good demonstration of what high-level play looks like in this game.
Definitely. The HQ boarding was definitely a mind opener. All right, guys and gals. Plague moves on to. Do we call it round 4 or semifinals?
Yeah, semifinals.
Yeah.
Either way,
Plague moves on to the semifinals of the Tiny Wars Open Tournament. Sonja Superior, fantastic run from them. Definitely would love to see more of them. And that will do it for game 1. Hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely subscribe if you want to see more games. We are premiering all of them. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next game. I'm Advanced Warrior.
I'm CJ.
And you all have our warmest regards. Please take care.
Thanks for watching.
Ciao, ciao.